This is how scientists look for polar bear dens on the North Slope. Fast-moving and blurry, it looks like an invitation for motion sickness.
The first few years I did this, I didn't find a single den, and it was driving me nuts.
Justin Blank uses an infrared camera attached to a plane to search for tiny hotspots on some of the coldest places on Earth. It's hard. With a gadget that looks like a giant Xbox control, he's on the hunt for bright spots on his radar. Dens that could be a big problem for oil companies.
We'd much rather find them before the ice road's built or before the project started, because to reroute or stand down the project is really can be troublesome for them.
So every November we get together with all the companies that have authorizations from us. We lock them in a room and make them talk to each other.
Christopher Putnam makes sure the oil industry is following federal law that requires all human activity to be a mile away.
These are gravel roads and drilling sites. This is the main Dead Horse Prudhoe Bay area here.
From Barrow all the way to Point Thompson, it's Putnam's job to track the endangered species about to give birth.
Oh, there's some more tracks. Oh, looks like she was testing, so there's another hole.
The camera can tell the difference of 1 degree in heat. Bear tracks linger for days, but finding the dens is a lot harder.
When you do see something that looks fishy, we'll fly it over and over, and we'll try to get lower, get higher, maybe come back a different day when the conditions are a little different.
And when Justin first showed us this, he pulled a little bit of a trick on us. He said it was a very uneventful, boring day until this happened.
This is a mother polar bear sticking her head out of her newly dug den. It's December, and she was preparing for something big until the sound of a plane drew her out to explore.
So she's just hunkering down for the winter, waiting to give birth in January.
This video is very rare. On average, the crew finds about 2 dens a year, and there have been years when they've found none. An expensive project for the oil companies, but a price they must pay.
So this is what a 10-day-old polar bear looks like.
To protect cubs who are born blind and vulnerable.
This is an early time-lapse sequence of a bear emerging from a den.
Once Fish and Game knows where the bears are, they monitor them. This is video from the early 90s as a mama emerges from her den with her 3-month-old cub. But sometimes the team misses a den.
And they're in full construction mode, building all this stuff, and there's a bear.
And that's when things get interesting. This is Spy Island. In 2011, oil company Eni had just finished an ice road to its new drilling project when this happened. A mother bear popped out of the snow with her cub. She'd been down in her den for months as workers built all of this infrastructure. All that work had to stop immediately.
They didn't panic or freak out and just tell everybody to run away. They shut down the operation in a very controlled and orderly manner and pulled back away, keeping everybody safe.
It was several weeks before the family moved on and Eni could get back to work, likely costing the company millions. Scientists learned some polar bears can deal with a lot of disturbance, but they'd rather not risk it. Because the North Slope may be home to Alaska's richest oil deposits, but it's the only home to the shrinking number of Alaska's polar bears.